Hello, sir.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, can you just hello, sir.
Good afternoon.
Slightly down of
Hello.
camera. Can you hear
Down
me?
your camera. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. Can you just fine. Hello, sir.
Good afternoon.
Slightly down of
Hello.
camera. Can you hear
Down
me?
your camera. Thank you. Yeah, I can hear you.
As always.
Who is this?
Fine.
Huh?
This is another. I think is a student participant. You had some.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Monica.
Thank
I'm a
you.
participant for
I can
today.
hear you. Good afternoon, Monica. Who is this?
Good afternoon, sir.
This is another. I think is a student participant. You had some.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Monica. I'm a participant for today.
Good afternoon, Monica. Who is this?
Good afternoon, sir.
This is another. I think is a student participant. You had some.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Monica. I'm a participant for
Only
today.
a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. This philosophy of giving back has changed the lives of an entire population in coastal Karnataka. Life worthwhile. The belief of living for the betterment of a society of giving family has changed the lives of an entire population in coastal Karnataka. Taken on a healthier and better pattern of living. For living for the betterment of a society of giving family has changed the lives of an entire population in coastal Karnataka. Taken on a healthier and better pattern of living. For living for the betterment of a society.
This institution.
The lives of an entire population in coastal Karnataka. Taken on a healthier and better pattern of living. For living for the betterment of a society.
My sincere wish is there's a culture here. These parents I only wish that culture is continued. My sincere wish is a separate person. There's a culture to be useful to the society, do work with people, only wish to people, help people who are in need. Education and healthcare, that area which has to be dedicated to the common person.
Nitte is where the beginnings for giving started. About 50 kilometers from Mangaluru, Nitte saw a remarkable change in its profile. When Justice K.S. Hegde retired as the Speaker of the Lok Sabha and decided to spend the rest of his life in giving back to society. In 1979, he started a school exclusively for promoting education for rural girls. Justice Kodur Sadananda Hegde and Meenakshi Hegde have been catalysts in changing the lives of thousands of underprivileged families, socially, economically, and personally. They not only inculcate the values of giving back to society to their progenies, but have become a household name in these parts. Justice Hegde, a man of integrity and strong values, dedicated his life towards empowering the people of Nitte till he died in May 1990. The mantle then fell on his son, Nitte Vinaya Hegde, who continues to nurture his father's commitment to the people. Destiny's child, as he calls himself, Vinaya Hegde, established a foundation and went beyond Nitte and sheltered many more villages in this umbrella of giving. These programs are now being carried out in 21 rural satellite centers across 5 districts in Karnataka and Kerala, secondary care referral facilities, and tertiary care at Justice K.S. Hegde Charitable Hospital. KSHEMA means well-being of the neighborhood. This project is for a wholesome growth of the community and is active in a few villages in Karnataka. Thousands of homes which are below poverty line in these villages benefit from various schemes pertaining to health, education, housing and self-employment. KSHEMA provides comprehensive free primary health care, free or subsidized referral to Justice K.S. Hegde Charitable Hospital. Well-equipped satellite hospitals have been provided by the Trust in villages. These centers provide free or not-for-profit primary health care, free dental care, referrals to higher hospitals, and ambulance services. Beneficiaries of Nitte KSHEMA are entitled to free medical and dental care in all levels of hospitals. Grama KSHEMA is blending urban students into rural dynamics to make them humane doctors. The students in groups of 4 look after a family and deal with community health issues till they graduate as doctors from the KSHEMA Medical Academy. This is conducted 3 times a month, where they educate the families about communicable and non-communicable diseases, awareness on mother and child health care, clean water and sanitation, nutrition and regular screening for hypertension and diabetes. Regular interaction and a good rapport with the villagers helps students also grow up to be confident doctors capable of taking up community work. By the time they graduate as doctors, they would have built a lasting bond with their families. A record of each family is maintained, which are checked by the staff who accompany the students. With special healthcare needs find relief in Nitte. Nitte, in collaboration with Sarva Shiksha Abhiyana, Government of India project initiated the Nitte Special Childcare (NSPEC) program to look after children with special needs by providing a comprehensive healthcare in the north and south zone of Mangaluru. NSPEC team identifies such children from various schools in Mangaluru and brings them to the Justice KSHEMA Charitable Hospital. The pediatricians, after screening them, refer them to various departments for further management by specialists. The treatment is free and children are picked up and dropped back home. Besides children with special needs, Nitte is also committed to taking care of people in their old age. KSHEMA Sandhya, a geriatric daycare center at the Justice KSHEMA Charitable Hospital, takes care of the well-being of the elderly. The project promotes the physical, psychological, social and spiritual health of the elderly. The quality of life of these people in the sunset of lives is improved vastly by giving them opportunities for socializing, community integration and improved access to nutrition and healthcare. Elderly citizens come from in and around Mangaluru and spend the day with their peers at this center. The senior citizens can avail of the hospital medical facilities free of cost. Free lunch and refreshments and conveyance provided. A unique rural psychiatry care has been established in Nitte to cater to the much neglected mental health issues of people in the area. A psychiatry rehabilitation center is a daycare center. Vocational activities like making greeting cards, jewelry, cooking and tailoring are taught to patients during rehabilitation with the help of social workers. Some of the patients have even been employed after training at the center. A consultant who comes in 5 days of the week, free treatment, medicines, referral to Justice KSHEMA Charitable Hospital. In-house psychologist and counselors, follow-up house visits, free food, awareness programs have helped people come out and give importance to mental health. Reducing the stigma attached with mental health is one of the aims of the center. Single-day denture fits are a popular scheme in the rural areas. This unique program enables a patient to go back home with a new denture fitted in on the day he visits the dentist, thereby reducing the cost of multiple visits to the clinic. While the basic treatment is done earlier, the patient walks in the morning and the measurement for the dentures are taken. Trials are made for the fitting during the course of the day And by evening, he walks out with the dentures and a perfect smile on his face. Nitte Meenakshi Institute of Craniofacial Surgery in Mangalore has the unique distinction of being at the forefront of treatment and research into clefts and craniofacial anomalies in the country. Free treatment is provided to all patients at the institute. Regular screening camps are organized in interior Karnataka and Kerala to identify, diagnose and treat those who are in need. Keeping in view their commitment towards mother-child care, the Nitte Group has developed a technology-based app to keep follow-ups of women and newborns in Nitte village. This app is the first ever initiative to care and develop program plans focused on mothers and children. This would develop a long-term cohort where newborns will be followed up till they complete adolescence and key health services are ensured to them. Namaste welcomes the students of the northeastern states and offers scholarships in various paramedical and allied health science courses. Economically backward children from the northeast are being given free education and hostel facilities right from the primary level to graduation. This has helped develop a strong bond between the two cultures. Nitte has an exclusive crack team to handle disasters from response to rehabilitation. Tsunamis, earthquakes and floods in India and across borders have found the Nitte team promptly rendering their assistance. In 2011, the Nitte team built 28 houses for flood victims in Gadag in Karnataka, assisted in the 2015 Nepal earthquake and the 2018 floods in Kerala and Kodagu. The Nitte family has grown now. The spirit of giving has also grown, and Team Nitte is dedicated to spreading smiles and hope to thousands in need.
Welcome to Nitte, a place where learning goes way beyond the classroom. For some, it's home. For some, it's a step towards transformation. For some, it's the beginning of a wonderful journey with like-minded people.
Thanks to the teaching and mentoring activities and dynamic incubation center, I am now industry ready.
Engineering at Nitte includes aeronautical, civil, computer science, electrical and electronics, electronics and communication, information science, mechanical, biotechnology, MTech, MCA and PhD. Nitte also collaborates with reputed universities around the world to give students an international academic exposure.
At Nitte, the focus on research has not only helped me understand my subjects, but reach for the stars.
Nitte offers a unique co-op program, an exposure to architects, artisans, and urban designers.
I aspire to be the heart of progress.
KSHEMA is listed in the World Directory of Medical Schools.
I learned the art of helping people smile.
AB Shetty Dental College is listed as one of the top dental colleges in the country. Justice K.S. Hegde Charitable Hospital, part of the Nitte Group, has 1,000 beds, advanced labs and diagnostic centers, which attract a good number of patients from across South India. Along with teaching and clinical practices, we offer programs in pharmacy, nursing, physiotherapy, speech and hearing, biomedical sciences, and paramedical programs like respiratory therapy technology, operation theatre technology, medical imaging technology, and medical laboratory technology.
I've always been curious about the chemistry of cures. I help in healing. From toddlers to seniors, I care for them all.
I believe I can help improve the quality of other people's lives.
We are blessed with the ability to speak and hear from birth. Not everyone is as lucky. I want to do my bit to help the less fortunate. I am proud to be able to assist a surgeon in the operation theatre.
From simple X-rays to sophisticated MRI and PET scans,
my course trains me to assist radiologists and physicians. The training I have received in testing blood, tissues, and body fluids assures me a job at any clinical laboratory. I help people enjoy every breath.
I believe in the power of research to change the world.
Nuxar is a one-of-its-kind teaching and research center that addresses society's health needs through painstaking research in biomedical sciences, food safety, microbiology, and biotechnology.
What I learn here and at my internship in the University of Minnesota, USA, I will carry with me and teach my community to live healthy and stay happy. We believe in being our own bosses.
The Bloomberg Lab helps students stay up to date with the latest trends in global markets. Students also have access to Bloomberg Analytics and can, in the course of their learning, develop their own analytics.
I cook my own recipe for success.
Sarosh Institute of Hotel Administration molds each student to become perfect hospitality professionals. A healthy blend of polish and panache.
I speak for the voiceless. This is what I'm taught, and this is what I'll practice.
I design my dreams and my goals.
I measure success by the trends I inspire.
Bachelor's in Fashion Technology at Nitte offers students state-of-the-art labs and the space to get their creative juices flowing. With the best of infrastructure, an active placement cell, and a lively atmosphere, education at Nitte helps students grow, breathe, and bloom. Graduate into a better future. Graduate with Nitte. Welcome to Nitte, a place where learning goes way beyond the classroom.
Yeah, good afternoon to one and all. Today we are into the third day of the session. Today with the topic magnetic resonance imaging, which is starting the which is national level e-poster competition, where we are having the eminent judges in the panelist, and also opening remark by the Commander KJ Daniel, is a public relations in ISRT, and also we have a judges from the different part of country. Today we have Miss Kalaivani Vinayaka Mission Research Foundation, Dept University from Salem, the faculty of the university, and also we have Rahul Kotari, is a assistant professor from Goa Medical College, and we have Muhammad Shahzad Hussain from Bangladesh, where he is working as a in the Popular Diagnostic Center, and also we have Bushra Khan, is assistant professor from Sharda University, Greater Noida from Uttar Pradesh. Best 5 finalists. One is Nitte Shri, she is from University College of Medical Science. Akshaya B from Sri Ramchandra Institute of Higher Education and Research, and Jabhat Chakrabarti from Maharshi Markandeshwar University from Haryana, and Monica from Savita Medical College, Shadwan Mustafa Muhammad from AJ Institute of Medical Science from Bangalore. With this, we are starting the today's session. So, with that, I request Commander KJ Daniels, sir, is a public relations from ISRT, to give an opening remark. It's over to you, sir.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
No. Annual KG Secretary today of a national level epidemic or pandemic disease of COVID-19 spread around the world, collapsing in international to a bad shape, and the whole world is paralyzed now. The lockdown has jeopardized to a standstill. Every sector is limping and trying to find out a new method to revive the lost economy. The electronic media is playing a major role to bring back our existence. Like any other sector, education has also turned and making use of the electronic media. All the educational institutions, government, public, private sector started using online classes, examinations, interviews through online platforms like Google Meet, Zoom, YouTube, etc., etc. It was decided to conduct a national e-poster competition by KSHEMA Medical Academy and Nitte University in association with Indian Society of Radiographers and Technologists, Mangalore Academic Club. Nearly 1,500 participants have already registered their name for this program so far. It's a very big list. Congratulations to everybody. ISRT has planned several such online academic programs all over India involving the local academic clubs. Recently, an online short-term 5-day course was conducted in association with Vinayaka Mission Research Foundation, Salem. More than 2,300 participants have registered and attended the online class. To fulfill the aim of ISRT to upgrade the radiological knowledge, awareness in the field, adapting new techniques, we shall continue to conduct such programs for our students, technologists, and other professionals. I wish and request all the students to make use of such programs and add more knowledge to them. First, let me thank Nitte University authorities for giving permission to conduct this program. My sincere thanks to all the college authorities, doctors, professors, teaching faculties, technical and non-technical staff members, students, members of the IT team, and media personnel of KSHEMA Medical Academy for their untiring effort to make this program a great success. I have to write in golden letters to the brain be success Shetty and team of faculty in the radiology department is medical. From my heart to Mr. Suresh Shah of Victoria Medical College, Bangalore, and Mrs. Kalaivani, Professor Vinayaka Medical Mission Research Foundation for their struggle among the organizing committee members, ISRT National Academy Advisory Committee members of the ISRT Mangalore Academic Club, distinguished volunteers of panel team from India and abroad, and the undergoing other panel members. Even though you are staying away from Mangalore, you have done a wonderful job through electronic media. This great success we have achieved only because of the participation of students and technologists around the globe. All the students and technologists have done standard and the quality of their presentations super the standard. My heart for your actively participate in the short notice. I appreciate your enthusiasm. I wish and request all of you to attend and take part in future programs as well. we are planning for different types of educational programs very often to overcome this pandemic disaster. Once again, I thank all the panel members around here, whom I could see in the team. Thanks a lot. You spend your valuable time in attending this meeting and giving advice to the students and other people. Wish you all the best. God bless you all. Srishti, I finished it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we moving further. The program, we have today 5 finalists, as I already mentioned.
Is that sufficient?
Yes, yes, sir. It's fine, fine. We're able to hear you.
It is not very clear here, not audible.
I think it's slightly internet issues in your side, sir. It's not a problem. The others are hearing properly.
Okay. No issue. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can you
Should I
unmute it?
mute my
Yeah, you need
mic?
to mute. Yes. Okay. I'll move further for the next presentation session. So before I starting the presentation session, I like to tell a few of the guidelines, which is please note that all the contestant, all of your PDF is with me. I will upload it by announcing their name. I will upload it myself and I will handle it from here. You have to just, you get 5 minutes time to present your presentation, and 5 minutes sessions will be there for the answer and question session. That is, every time the 2 judges will be asked a question one by one. That I request all the students to give the answer in a short and in a short and briefly. So we will start with the first contestant, number 1, that is Nitte. I'm uploading your presentation. Yeah, Nitte, can you unmute?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes. All of you, please listen. After each 5 minutes, I will press a buzzer. I think you can hear. Okay. Once it is buzzer means your time is up. By the time you have to, you will get the extra time to present. If it is not to cross more than 6 minutes. Okay. So 5 minutes is the final buzzer will be pressed from here. By the time you have to finish your presentation. So now we'll start with the contestant number 1, Nitte. Your time starts now.
Yes, sir. Good morning to everyone present in this platform. I'm Nitte. I'm a final year MSc student in University College of Medical Sciences. And today my topic is 3 Tesla MRI. Let's start with a brief introduction. 3T MRI have in the recent years have gained prominence in the clinical practice, and it is establishing its own role in medical imaging. And it's needless to say, it is the state-of-the-art technology in medical imaging. So why we use a 3 Tesla instead of a 1.5 Tesla? A little bit about the basic physics of MRI. If a hydrogen nuclei is placed within a strong external magnetic field, some protons align in the direction parallel to the main magnetic field, while some will be in the opposite direction. As you know, they cancel out each other. Tesla, what it does it increases this energy separation of the low and high energy levels. That is, number of excess protons in low energy state will increase. This will produce an increased signal. Okay. After the brief introduction, now let's see the physical differences between 1.5 Tesla and 3 Tesla. As you can see in the table that has been in the poster, the Larmor frequency, the signal to noise ratio, the chemical shift, it is all double-fold increase than in 3T comparatively to 1.5 Tesla because they are proportional to external magnetic field strength. Okay, so as the magnetic field strength increases, these things will increase. And the specific absorption rate, which is the SAR, is proportional to the static field squared, meaning that the 3 Tesla system deposits 4 times as much energy within tissue as a 1.5 Tesla system. Then the susceptibility and the field inhomogeneity is also increased in 3 Tesla comparatively to 1.5 Tesla. Let's now go to the advantages and the challenges that is faced by the higher strength magnet. As you can see, the main benefit of the 3 Tesla is the increased SNR ratio. So how it gets increased? Actually, it is, as I've already told you, it's proportional. So the signal is proportional to the square of static field strength. And so it is twice as good as the 1.5 Tesla. This is as per theoretical, but in reality, it is less than 100% due to an increase in susceptibility effects in most tissues. SNR can be traded with spatial resolution. Our acquisition time can be improved depending on which is more important for the particular case. Okay, now moving on to the clinical applications of 3T MRI. So a little bit down. Okay. In brain imaging, 3T MRI is superior in epilepsy, inner ear, and functional imaging. And in MR imaging, as you can see the image in the poster, the first image is the 1.5 Tesla's image and the second one is the 3 Tesla. It's an MR angiography. And as you can see, the 3 Tesla image shows we can appreciate more the small peripheral vessels with the bedding of vessels. Even in contrast studies, 3T is very beneficial. The thing important to remember is that volume of the contrast should be less than 3 Tesla that we give or normally in the 1.5 Tesla. It's effectively used in musculoskeletal system, MRCP, BOLD, and spectroscopy. In spectroscopy, it is used effectively because there is an increased spectral separation and increased SNR. So a little bit down. Now about the drawbacks. So a little bit down. Yes. Okay. In general, every artifact that we see in 1.5 Tesla is also present in 3 Tesla. But there is an increased chemical shift artifact and an increased susceptibility, and there is a new thing called dielectric shading artifact that is also present here. As you can see in the image a little above, sir. Yes, the image that we see is a susceptibility artifact that is found in 3 Tesla that is almost obscuring the entire right lobe of liver. A little bit down, sir. Okay, coming to the next topic, which is very important, the safety issues. As I mentioned before, the the SAR is in 3T system deposits 4 times as much energy within tissue as a 1.5 Tesla. The steps that we can do to reduce the SAR is to increase TR, decrease number of slices, and reduce the flip angle, use parallel imaging, and minimize the use of saturation band. It is important to know that some of the implants and devices which we consider as MR safe in 1.5 Tesla is not MR safe in 3 Tesla. So it is very important to check the compatibility at 3 Tesla. And cost-wise also, it is very expensive than the 1.5 Tesla machine. One more I like to add, the important thing is parallel imaging plays an important role in 3 Tesla imaging because it helps by reducing the number of RF excitations required to form an image. It allows the increased SNR to be traded for spatial and temporal resolution, and it also reduces the time. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Judges Rahul Patare and Bushrakan, please go ahead with the question.
Yes, hello. He was not audible for some time, I think. For me, at
Oh,
least, he was not audible.
okay, sir.
Okay, question to you is, when we are installing a Tesla in layout planning for 3 Tesla, is it different from 1.5 Tesla, or they are?
Sir, your question is not audible to me.
Okay, my question is, when we are installing a 3 Tesla instrument, what are the changes in layout planning compared to 1.5 Tesla instrument?
As the magnetic field strength increases, there will be a specific changes we have to do in the layout plan of 3T Tesla installation.
Okay, what changes can you explain a little bit? If
Um, Sir, like the shielding changes will be there.
okay, okay. Sasi, we can go ahead for second question.
Yeah, Bushra madam, go ahead.
Okay, Nitya, my question is for you. Can you tell me the SAR for SAR value? You explained me in a tabular format. The SAR for 3 Tesla is higher than the 1.5 Tesla. So
Yes.
how much the value for 1.5 Tesla and how much the value for the 3 Tesla?
Actually, the limit set by the FDA is like increase
Yes.
of 1 degree centigrade in any tissue.
No, so how much the value of SAR in 1.5 Tesla?
4 kilowatt.
What is the unit of SAR?
Um, 150.
Unit of SAR. You told me about, you already explained it, na? In 3 Tesla, the SAR value will be the 4 times fold. So how much the value in 1.5 Tesla as per the FDA?
I remember as 4, ma'am. The SAR was 4 for 1.5 Tesla.
So that means for the 3 Tesla is to be 16.
I'm not quite sure about it.
Okay, fine. So move to the next question. What is the role of 3 Tesla MRI as compared to the 1.5 Tesla chemical shift related? Supposed to be, what is the role of 3 Tesla MRI in MR spectroscopy as compared with the 1.5 Tesla? How much difference?
Yes, ma'am. There is a double difference. As you can see, the chemical shift between the fat and water was 220 hertz and 1.5 Tesla, whereas in 3 Tesla machine, it was the double, that is 440 megahertz. It was. So the spectroscopy will also be, it will produce a greater signal in the image.
So how much the, what will be the result if the frequency will be double? So what is the
Then
effect on that biomolecules?
increased spatial separation we can see, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And moving ahead with the second contestant. Before that, I'd like to announce that today we have a moderator, Taslima Sheikh from Belgaum, and Suresh Shetty from Bangalore, and Kalaimani from the Bangalore, from the KSHEMA Medical Academy. Also, we have a subject expert. Means during a YouTube live session, if anyone has a question, they can put a question in the chat box. It will be answered by Professor S. Selvam, one of the legendary person in the physics. So he will be answering all your questions related to MRI in today's session. So now moving with the second contestant.
So, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, your
Shall I start?
time start now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Akshaya from Sri Ramchandra Institute of Higher Education Research. I'm going to present a talk on MRI CSF flowmetry. Moving on to the introduction, the CSF flow studies are performed using a variety of MRI techniques and are able to quantitatively assess and quantify the pulsatile CSF flow. Basically, the CSF is produced from the choroid plexus of the lateral ventricle. The total CSF volume is about 90 to 150 ml in adult and 10 to 60 ml verify the CSF flow. If there's any CSF obstruction, the CSF will not drain properly. So the ventricles will become dilated and it leads to the condition called the hydrocephalus. And it also provides significant information, the preoperative evaluation of the GRE1 malformation, normal pressure hydrocephalus, the postoperative follow-up of patients with neuroendoscopic third ventriculostomy and the ventriculoperitoneal shunt. And let's move on to the CSF pathway. The CSF flows from the lateral ventricle to the third ventricle through the intraventricular foramen, that is the foramen of Monro. From the third ventricle, the CSF flows to the fourth ventricle through the aqueduct of the Sylvius. The CSF flows into the suburb of Magendai. If there is any aqueduct stenosis, the CSF will not drain into the subarachnoid space. It will lead to the CSF obstruction. So there's two types of flow, that is the bulk flow and the pulsatile flow. The bulk flow is that the CSF is produced in the choroid plexus and absorbed by the arachnoid granulation. In the pulsatile flow, the movement of CSF will be pulsatile and it results from the pulsation related to the cardiac cycle of the choroid plexus. And the most important technique we employ here is the phase contrast MRI technique. This derives contrast between the flowing blood vessels tissues. So we apply two bipolar gradient that includes two lobes. The first lobe is the positive gradient, and another one is the negative gradient. Initially, we have a stationary spin and a flowing spin. Both the spins are in phase. When we apply the positive gradient, it flips into another direction. So there will be no phase shift. So there will be no signal. When we apply the negative gradient, the stationary spin will return back to its original position, but the flowing spin will be in different position. So there will be a different phase shift, and thus the signal will be visible. Then WENC. WENC stands for the velocity encoding of parameter that must be specified before performing a phase contrast MRI study. This technique is designed to evaluate the flow velocity and the direction. Its unit is centimeter per second. When the WENC is set too low, aliasing will occur. When the WENC is set too high, it will be difficult for us to detect the small flow differences. So the proper estimation of WENC factor is very important. And the positioning of the patient should be in position in a supine position with head first orientation. And we have to do the gating. Gating is nothing but the synchronization of the signals. We use the peripheral pulse gating. Peripheral pulse gating, it works as same as the ECG gating. A photosensor is attached to the patient's toe or finger to detect the pulse in the capillary bed. This in turn affects the amount of light reflected back to the sensor and the waveform is obtained. And the sequence, we use the sagittal T2 FRFC, that is the sagittal fiesta. First, we have to acquire the sagittal T2 FRFC image to identify the cerebral aqueduct. And then we acquire the dynamic flash sequence. In this sequence, you're planning perpendicular to the aqueduct. The same slice is repeated for the multiple times. Then we acquire the three sets of images. That is the phase image, magnitude image, and the phase image. To obtain the optimal signal, the CSF flow velocity should be same or slightly less than the selected WENC. So in the rephased image, the flow will be very high and the background will be visible. And in the magnitude and the background will be suppressed. In the phase image, the signal is dependent on direction. The forward flow will be of higher signal and the reverse flow will be of lower signal. The background will be mid-gray. And moving on to the post-processing, first we have to take the axial image, look for the area in which the CSF looks brighter, and we have to draw the ROI. Then the values were obtained and calculated from the ROI. The several parameters can be calculated. That is the positive peak velocity, peak positive velocity, peak negative velocity, average flow, average positive flow, and the average negative flow. Moving on to the clinical applications, normal pressure hydrocephalus. It is a condition in which the accumulation of CSF will be more and it leads to the enlargement of the lateral and third ventricle out of proportion to the cortical sulcal enlargement. Normally, the CSF flow velocity is about 5 to 8 centimeter per second, but in NPH, the CSF velocity will be more because of the hydrostatic pressure, very high hydrostatic pressure in the CSF, and the average stroke volume is about minus 0.06 milliliter per beats. And in the GRE1 malformation, it is the downward displacement of the cerebral tonsils beneath the posterior foramen magnum. Its peak systolic velocity is 1.8 to 4.8 centimeter per second, and its peak diastolic velocity is 2.5 to 5.3 centimeter per second. And VP shunt is a device used to shunt the CSF fluid in the treatment of hydrocephalus to restore normal CSF flow. The WENC velocity is low because of the intracranial pressure in the higher. So we have to set the vent velocity to 2 to 5 centimeter per second. To conclude, MR-CSF flow meter is an extremely useful imaging technique to assess the CSF flow dynamics, which helps in choosing surgical decision or follow-up and post-operative follow survey. Thank you.
Yeah, I request, thank you. I request Rahul sir and Kalevini madam to go ahead with the question.
Okay. In your sequence, you have explained about Fiesta sequence.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what kind of sequence is Fiesta sequence?
Fiesta, it is a Fiesta is a fast motion shot.
Not sure.
Hmm.
Okay, no problem. Additional question in this is, Fiesta is the sequence from one particular vendor. Can you tell me other variants of it, like from the other vendors, any other name? Yeah.
Fast recovery, fast Nico, FRFSC.
FRFSC by which vendor?
Huh? Which vendor?
Fiesta is from which vendor? Any idea?
Fiesta is from Philips. I'm not sure, sir.
Okay, no problem. What is the use of bipolar gradient? You have explained about bipolar gradient, right?
Yeah, actually bipolar gradient is that we apply the positive and the negative gradient. So we have two spins, that is the stationary and the flowing spin. By application of the positive gradient, both the stationary and the flowing spin will be in phase, so that will get affected equally. So there will be no phase shift, so there will be no signal. In the negative, by the application of the negative gradient, there will be in the stationary spin will return back to its original position, and the flowing spin will go in another direction. So there will be a phase shift, so the signal will be visible. So bipolar gradient is useful
to correct the phase shift errors, right?
Yeah, direction.
Hello.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, correct. Sasi, we can go ahead for second question.
Yes. Kalevini madam, you can.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, next you can go with the question. Madam.
Yeah. Congrats, Akshay, for your effort.
Thank you. Phase shift, ma'am. Phase shift. Instance in the phase contrast MRI, you asking, no?
Produce.
Ma'am, I cannot hear you.
How can it produce phase shift? Can you hear me?
Yeah, ma'am.
How it is produced? Phase shift values.
Phase shift values.
Yeah.
Are
you telling about bipolar gradient mean?
Yeah, ma'am. When we apply the bipolar gradient, the stationary, yeah, ma'am. For in the application of the positive gradient, phase shift. So the stationary spin and the flowing spin will be in the similar direction. So when in the application of the negative gradient, there will be different phase shift. So the stationary spin will come back to its original position. The spin will be in opposite direction. So there will be a difference in the phase shift.
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Sasi sir, you can go ahead and next session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks so much. Now moving ahead with the third contestant. I'm going to upload the third PDF file. Yeah, Java Chakrabarti.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Your time starts now.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, sir. Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Java Chakravarti from MSc first year Maharishi Markandeshwar University, Mulana, Ambala, Haryana. So I am going to discuss about MRS, magnetic resonance spectroscopy. So, MRS is a non-invasive diagnostic test for measuring biochemical changes in the soft tissue. While MRI identifies the anatomical location of any lesion, MRS compares the chemical composition of normal tissue with abnormal tissues. It can be done for tumors, bacterial infection, pus, abscess, cancer, depression, and this test can be also used to detect tissue changes in stroke and epilepsy also. The main purpose is to detect the changes in chemical composition of the pathology before it expands and becomes symptomatic or visible in MRI. How does MRS works? Means how the MRS is works. MRS is conducted on the same machine as the conventional MRI we can done. Spectroscopy is a series of tests that are added to the MRI scan to measure the chemical metabolism of a suspected lesion. MRS analyzes molecules such as hydrogen ions or protons. There are several different metabolism to differentiate between tumor types and what kind of lesion it is. Like these metabolites are like amino acids, lipids, lactate, alanine, and acetyl aspartate, choline, creatinine, and etc. The frequency of these metabolites is measured in units called parts per million or ppm and plotted on a graph as peaks of varying height. By measuring each metabolite's ppm and comparing it to normal brain tissue, the radiologist can determine the type of tissue present. The localization technique for MRS. How we can localize the lesion in MRS. There are two classic ways of spatial localization technique for MRS. The one is single voxel spectroscopy or SVS technique, and another one is multi-voxel spectroscopy or MVS. For SVS, which records spectra from one region of the brain at a time, and for MVS, which simultaneously records spectra from multiple regions and thereby map out the spatial distribution of metabolites uh, within the part we can scanning. MRS, what is MRS shows? What is MRS? We can show that MRS can be used to determine tumor types and aggressiveness and distinguish between tumor and radiation necrosis. Different metabolites can indicate like glioma. For the glioma lower than the peak will lower than normal for NAA levels and elevated choline and lipid levels and lactate peaks. For radiation necrosis does not have elevated choline levels, and for meningioma elevated alanine levels. And the last one is what are the risks for any one of MRI or whether it is conventional MRI or MRS. Some people are sensitive to contrast agent, but for MRI contrast agent it is safer than other contrast agents we can use in CT, X-ray and fluoro. Some special circumstances limit the use of magnetic field, so it is important to tell the doctor if any of the following is applied, like a cardiac pacemaker or artificial heart valve, metal plate or other metallic implant, aneurysm clips, cochlear implant and hearing device, etc. The basic the basic principle of spectroscopy, it is based on the spectrum, means the distribution of electrons. It gives the metabolites of tissues a different height or different peaks depending on the intensity of their metabolites. Spectrum quality is evaluated according to main two criteria. One is signal to noise ratio and the spectral resolution. Signal to noise ratio is the height of the metabolite peaks in relation to background noise, and for spectral resolution, peak width, which determines whether the different metabolites can be separated. Only a limited number of molecules with protons are observable in MRS. For prosthetic MRS, the citrate peak is also looked for at 2.6 ppm. The different metabolites has a different frequency and a different role. And these are different frequencies, like choline has a 3.2 frequency ppm, creatinine has 3.0, and Na is 2.0, etc. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I request Bushra Khan and Mohammad Hussain to go ahead with the question. Hello. Yeah. Kalavani ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I think you are scheduled, ma'am, for the question. This one, the
Yes,
third one.
yes.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Jabba,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I have one simple question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, which type of waves produced or released in MRI?
Ma'am,
It is a spectrum, no? Spectrum
yes,
radiation, no?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, which type of waves? We have several number of waves produced in spectrum, no? Radiation,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
basically.
Yes, ma'am.
So, can you tell me that type of wave?
The waves. Sorry, ma'am. I'm not quite sure about the answer.
Okay, okay. Then I have one more.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the minimum range level? Region level, no?
Ma'am, sorry, I did not hear.
We explained about SV and MV technique, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The region start from the minimum
ma'am.
range of region.
Ma'am, for SPS,
Yes.
Minimum range is
Region, yes, region level start.
Yeah. Next judge can.
Okay, next.
Yeah, Shahadad Hussain sir, can you ask a question? Actually, you supposed to ask in a previous one. I apologize that I just. Okay, you need to unmute it if you are asking question. If it is, I think, Sir Rahul sir, can you ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My question is, you have explained about single voxel and multi-voxel technique. Again, in single voxel technique, there are two techniques, two types of single voxel spectroscopy. Can you tell me what are those two techniques in single voxel?
Sir, for suppression of water signal and the acquisition of the spectrum, these are the two
Hello?
techniques. Like
Can you tell me the names?
the suppression of water signal, the press and stream.
Yeah, correct. Can you tell me full forms of stream and press both?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Press is point resolved spectroscopy, and for stream is stimulated echo acquisition mode.
Okay, okay, good. Done.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now we'll move ahead with the next contestant number 4. Contestant number.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes. I'm going to upload your video.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, your time starts now.
A very blessed afternoon to one and all gathered here. I'm Monica from Savita Medical College, and my topic is high resolution MR imaging in the evaluation of hippocampal sclerosis. So, what's hippocampal sclerosis? The term sclerosis means stiffening of a tissue. So, hippocampal sclerosis is a neuropathological condition with severe neuronal cell loss and gliosis in the hippocampus. It was first described in 1880 by William Sommer. It's also associated with temporal lobe epilepsy, and hippocampus is the most common origin of that, and it may involve amygdala. So hence the term mesial temporal sclerosis was coined by Falconer et al. The causes of hippocampal sclerosis is not definite, but it's seen with increase in age and vascular abnormalities such as stroke and hypertension, and it's also associated with febrile seizures. Histopathological signs include loss in pyramidal neurons and severe gliosis. So, a patient with hippocampal sclerosis often shows symptoms of dementia and loss of cognition and seizures, and it may be misinterpreted as Alzheimer's. So, that is why diagnosis is very important. So, as it may extend to other temporal lobes. So, presence of hippocampal sclerosis for more than 10 years may affect the parasympathetic nervous system, and seizures may affect the sympathetic nervous system. So, MRI is the modality of choice to evaluate the hippocampus. However, a dedicated protocol and appropriate planning must be followed for good sensitivity and specificity. Both qualitative and quantitative approach is taken. So, a thin slice T2 weighted turbospin echo sequence, which is planned perpendicular to the long axis of hippocampus, is performed. Following this, a T1 weighted 3D turbo field echo sequence is planned employing isotrophic voxels. The advantage of isotrophic voxels is we can reformat into multiplanes, and volumetric analysis can be done, and also it has reduced partial volume averaging artifacts. And along with this, a T2 relaxometry protocol which is followed, which is a Carr-Purcell-Megum-Gill multi-echo pulse sequence with 8 echoes, and this is planned perpendicular to the body of hippocampus. Once the images are obtained, the major findings include reduced hippocampal volume. This is because the hippocampus is highly atrophied. There is also increased T2 signal, and this is due to loss in neuronal cells, which results in increased extracellular space. This increase in extracellular space leads to diffusion of water, which hence appears hyperintense in a T2 weighted image. There is also loss in internal architecture of the hippocampus, which is interdigitations caused by stratum radiata of the hippocampus, which separates the dentate nucleus and the amon horn. In case of sclerosis, this differentiation is lost because the hippocampus is sclerosed, which results in abnormal morphology. Other findings include atrophy of the temporal lobe structure such as mammillary body, the ipsilateral fornix, and also in some cases there's dilatation of the temporal horn of the lateral ventricle. It's easy to compare the right and left hippocampus, but in 10% of the cases it's bilateral in nature, so we cannot rely on symmetry alone. This is where T2 relaxometry will play a role. So if the mean value is higher than 120, it signifies that the hippocampus is sclerosed. So hence, imaging tools such as MRI play a major role in detecting hippocampal sclerosis, and it has greater sensitivity, and it also defines adjacent structures such as the functional lobes of the brain. This will help in surgical treatment because it improves management in temporal lobectomy or selective amygdalo-hippocampectomy. And also MRI helps in identifying malrotation, focal cortical dysplasia, and lateralization to one cerebral hemisphere, which is not possible with the electroencephalogram. It also identifies if there is an extra hippocampal or an extra temporal extension in case of a dual pathology. So as a technologist, we need to have a clear knowledge on identifying the pathology, correlating it with the clinical condition of the patient, and then we have to apply the appropriate pulse sequence, plan it perfectly to demonstrate that finding, and provide good quality images for the diagnosis. This will in turn help for the prognosis of the patient. Thank you.
Thank you. I request Bushra Khan Madam and Mohammed Hussain to go ahead with the question.
Okay, Monica, there is a question for you. You already explained about there is a two method to find out the hippocampal sclerosis. There is a qualitative method and quantitative method. Can you
Yes.
elaborate both of them?
Okay, ma'am. The T2 weighted sequence, the turbo spin echo sequence, is the most qualitative assessment because we can visually assess the hippocampus in it. And the quantitative approach will go for a T1 weighted 3D turbo field echo sequence where we can do a volumetric analysis. Though it's
I think you exchange the both of things. There is a you mentioned that the quantitative is T2 relaxometry.
relaxometry, ma'am. In qualitative, I said T2 turbo spin echo sequence in oblique coronal planning, and quantitative we can do a T1 with a volumetric analysis for quantity and the T2 relaxometry value for the quantitative assessment.
Okay. There is a next question for you. For high resolution MR, how much Tesla MR is to be required or sufficient for the?
Currently, all the cases which we performed was in 1.5 Tesla, and a high field strength, which starting from 1.5 Tesla, is very much sufficient to demonstrate this pathology.
But how can we maximize that resolution?
Spatial resolution, as in, ma'am, by using isotrophic voxels, ma'am, with overlap, without any slice gap, we can increase the spatial resolution of the anatomy which we are imaging.
Okay, thank you.
Monica, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me diffusion MRI temporal sclerosis? What are the signals shown in ADC value and why? Simply and short, can you tell me?
Yes, sir. In diffusion MRI, actually the ADC value will be increased because there is increased extracellular space, and this will accommodate this diffusing water molecules. So actually ADC value will be high, but immediately following a seizure episode, this ADC value will be reduced. So in case of hippocampal sclerosis, ADC value will be high, but immediately following episode of seizure, this ADC value will be reduced.
Okay. My second question, in case of sclerosis of temporal region, you done MRS. What are the peak you've seen?
Yes, sir. Because it's a neuronal cell loss pathology, there'll be decrease in NAA, there'll be decrease in NA and choline, NA and creatinine ratio. There'll be increase in a lipid and lactate peak after seizure. And myonistal peak will also be decreased in the temporal lobe, whichever side is affected.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Shashi sir. Please. Shashi sir, please. Next, my question is finished.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now we'll move ahead with the fifth contestant, the last contestant of the day. I request Mohammed Hussain sir, instead of Rahul sir, please ask a question after this contestant presentation. Okay. So now I'm going to upload the fifth contestant presentation. Shadwan?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes. Your time starts now. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Shadwan Mustafa Muhammad from AJ Institute of Allied Health Science, Mangalore. So my topic is about some basic informations regarding the PET MRI. So basically, a positron emission tomography MRI is a hybrid imaging technology which incorporates and blends the anatomical information from the MRI and the physiological information from the PET scanning, thus produces a fused PET MRI image. Now, we know a crucial step in the PET scanning is the administration of a radiopharmaceutical, specifically a positron emitting radiopharmaceutical. It is also called as a radio tracer. Now, this radio tracer is injected intravenously into the body, and as this radio tracer enters the bloodstream, the different cells of the body starts to take it or absorb this radio tracer. Now, different types of radio tracers or pharmaceuticals are used, and the commonly used one is FDG, that is fluorodeoxyglucose. It is formed by the fusion of F18 molecule into a glucose molecule, and the half-life of FDG is 110 minutes. Now, as the FDG reaches the cells, now it will be emitting a positron. So the positron emitted by this radio tracer as well as the electrons present in the cell itself will undergo annihilation reaction, and thus will produce a pair of coincident photon. So basically a pair of gamma rays will be formed with equal and opposite energy of 511 keV, and they will be moving opposite to each other. The detectors will also be kept, and these specialized PET cameras or detectors will capture the pair of gamma rays. So all of these captured gamma rays will be consolidated and again congregated to form a single PET image. Now, talking about the scanner geometry, there are two types of PET MRI. So first one is the axial offset. In axial offset, there are two separate gantries for each of the modality. One is for the PET scanning, and the next one is for the MRI. And a single common patient handling system will be present in between both of these gantries. So the second one is the more developed one, that is hybrid array. So in hybrid array, the PET detectors itself is inbuilt inside the MRI gantry itself. So in hybrid array, in a single gantry itself, both the components of MRI and then the PET detectors are placed in a single gantry. We have told about the SUV. So now the SUV, when we are talking about SUV, that is standard uptake value, it is the actual amount of radio tracer absorbed by the cells. So we have told as the activity increases, activity of each cell increases, the take up or the absorption rate also will get increased. So activity of the cell and the SUV value is directly proportional. So for normal cells, the value of SUV is almost 1 gram per ml, whereas for tumor cells like benign or malignant cells, what will happen is that the activity is much higher than the normal rate. So it can go beyond 2 to 2.5 gram per ml. So another main feature of PET MRI is that it is mainly feasible with the current prototypes and the future generations to come in order to acquire information regarding metabolic functions, oxygen consumption, perfusion, and so on. So as a conclusion, PET MRI can be very much helpful in detection, staging, and again treatment of cancers. So like another main advantage of PET MRI over PET CT is that the effect of ionizing radiation is very much less in PET MRI. Thank you. That's all, and have a nice day.
Yeah, Bushra Khan madam and Mohammed Hussain, please go ahead with the question.
Yes. So, Shanu, tell me the question. You mentioned that rubidium. So, in the list of radioisotopes, what is the role of rubidium in PET MRI? Rubidium-82.
I'm not sure, ma'am. Sorry.
So, how you can include that in your presentation if you are not sure this is radiopharmaceuticals or not? Not sure?
No, sure.
Okay, so next time, whatever you are adding in your presentation, you must know each and every component. Okay, so move to the next question. How much Tesla magnet is used for PET MRI?
1.5 Tesla.
Can you tell me where is in India, where is the PET MRI is available?
In Apollo Hospital, New Delhi.
Okay, or any other place within the India?
I'm not sure about enhance.
You should update yourself where it's to be high modality is available in our India.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I am simply ask a simple question. What are the main difference between PET CT and PET MRI? What are the main difference?
So the significant difference between both of this is a PET MRI will be having less effect of radiation, as the MRI is more useful in this soft tissue viewing. So diagnosis of tumor growth will be more advantage in PET MRI than PET CT.
Second question, safety measurement is similar to PET CT and PET MRI. Patient safety measurement. Can you tell me?
PET CT, like contrast, CT contrast will be having certain issues and risks are there, or some reactions. So in MRI, PET MRI, it will not be. Yeah.
It's okay. Okay, so sir, please go ahead.
Thank you so much. Here with this, we are ending today's MRI e-poster competition. I request all the judges to send your result to my WhatsApp number so that I can announce it. By the time I will announce the day 2, in the sense, yesterday's we had a computer topic, computer tomography, and the first prize goes to Yogita Naik from her topic, current and novel techniques in metal artifact reduction in CT. Yogita Naik, congratulations, you have won a first prize. And second prize goes to the topic coronary CT angiography. She's Priyanga. These both are the winner of the first and the second prize. Congratulations, Yogita and Priyanga. At the same time, now, as a closing remark, we had requested our president, ISRT president, Selva Kumar sir, to join the Google Meet, since his technical issue is not able to join the Google Meet. So he had sent a audio. So I'm going to play a audio.
Very good afternoon. Respected Dr. Raghunath sir from Nitte Deemed University and the faculty team, Professor Pannisalam sir, panel members, participants, and all viewers of this e-poster program. It's my pleasure and happy moment we associate with Nitte for this kind of e-poster competition. And to my knowledge, this type of program is a first in our region. This program is well received among students and members of radiographic community throughout India and internationally among UK, Malaysia, Indonesia, Abu Dhabi, and other countries. This program, conceived by Mr. Sashi Shetty and team members from Nitte with the guidance from the university and our Guru Professor Pannisalam sir and ISRT. This program is on 9th June. This program was announced digitally and scheduled for 24th to 26th of June 2020. will saw a wide round of appreciation throughout the nation and few international institutions. Due to its popularity and wide range of advertisements, more than 2,500 members registered for this program and will be received nearly 130 e-posters among the 45 different colleges. These posters are categorized into 3 different categories and radiography modality and radiation safety, radiation protection, computer tomography, and magnetic resonance imaging. Now, each and every category, top 5 e-posters are selected for the presentation, and from 24th onwards this happened, and a panel of judges viewed this, and the presentations are well received among the members, and the questions were answered by the panelists and the participant. It is heartening to see the overwhelming response from the entire radiographic community. Hats off to Mr. Shashikumar Shetty and his team, headed by Dr. Nagraj sir, for their continued support. Their tireless, effective communication, sending updates regularly till now. The panelists or judges on each topics are very well known among the group and our specialist of the subject. Competitors on each topic did very well. A big round of applause for their effort to put forward their thoughts and came forward, explained well. It's a big achievement to be in a competition and stood atop. Hearty congratulations to the winners and others who missed to receive a top level, but don't let you down. Most of the participants did very well. Due to some small variation, they missed the chances. In a competition, winning is the goal, but participating is a big target. So those who miss also to learn and to compete and win prizes in the further competitions and excel very well in the jobs. Every successful program will come to an end at one stage. Likewise, this e-poster program conducted also came to an end with a success note. Most of us are eagerly waiting for the second round. Thank you all from my bottom of my heart and from Indian Society of Radiographers and Technologies for the good health, success and in your studies and career. Stay safe, stay healthy. Jai Hind. Make this program a grand one. Thank you all.
Thank you. I apologize for the technical error. Due to technical error, he couldn't join our Google Meet. So since now moving with this, I request Kalaivani ma'am to send your report, scoring sheet, so that after that I can announce it. So we'll moving ahead with, I'll request Taslima madam to go ahead with your vote of thanks. After that I will announce the today's result. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, one and all. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. On behalf of ISRT and University, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to the ISRT President Selva sir and Commander Daniel sir and Suresh sir. I must mention my deep sense of appreciation to Suresh sir and Shashi sir for their work, and also extend my big thanks to our delegates too. Thank you guys for making this event successful in our competition. Once again, thank you, one and all.
Thank you, madam. Now the result will be ready within a 2 minutes. I will announce the result. By the time, I like to thank all my university member, like our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Satish Kumar Bandari, and Mr. Prasanna Hegde, is a Deputy Director of Administration, who helped me to conduct this program. Also, I like to extend my thanks to Mahesh Chauta, who is the IT Administrator, and Professor Dr. Prakash PS is the Dean of KSHEMA Medical Academy. And I like to extend my thanks to my HOD, Professor Sri Krishna, and my coordinator, Dr. Raghuraju, and my hands, Jasimuddin, Kyle, and Atira, for their wonderful support to host this program. And also extend my thanks to, especially, this goes to these people: Taslima Sheikh, Suresh Shetty. He is a chairman of WC Ranjan Paramedical Institute. He is the one, the sponsor for the cash prize for this national level AE poster competition. I thank you, sir, for the support. And also, I'll extend my thanks to Yogananda sir from Tata Memorial, and also Anto Ramesh sir for their wonderful support. And also thanks my teammates, in the sense Mangalore Academic Club, patron, chairman, vice chairman, members, scientific members, for all their support and hands for me to conduct this program. And at the end, I like to thank today's, due to, he's supposed to be in the live, but due to the technical problem, he couldn't join. President of the ISRT, Silva Kumar sir, for his wonderful support. And also, I like to extend my thanks to Suresh Malya sir, General Secretary, for their support and encouragement to conduct this program. So it was a big task for us. We received more than 160 poster presentation for all the 3 total topics. We forwarded message nearly around 2,800 messages, in the sense links. These are the live links to the participants. We had a good support from my teammates to conduct this program. It was a wonderful memory. And also, I like to tell that this is a novel initiative which is conducted by KSHEMA Medical Academy, the Nitte Dept University, in association with the Mangalore ISRT, the ISRT Mangalore Academic Club. So I thank each one of them for their wonderful support. There is no word, frankly, if I say, there are a lot of sleepless nights behind this, where this initiative I started when Vinayaka Mission, under the guidance of Kalaivani ma'am, when she initiated, I was thinking of that we also should conduct some program. So I really appreciate that ma'am taken an initiative during this pandemic. So that's I really appreciate you, ma'am, for your wonderful thought and hosting that wonderful event. And also I like to thank that you give me a opportunity to be one of the speaker on that your novel initiative.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. You're always welcome. Thank you for your wonderful opportunity for this program also. Yeah.
With this, result is in my hand now. I think since yesterday, all those I used to, day before yesterday and yesterday's result, which I announced after the next day. And I think this is the occasion where all the 5 finalists are in live. So the first prize goes to Monica from the Savita Medical College. Congratulations, Monica.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And the second prize goes to Nitte from UCMS Institute. Congratulations. Yes, thank you so much. And with this, I'll thank all the panelists, Bushra Khan Madam, Mohammad Hussain, and Rahul Kotari sir, and Kalaimani Madam. I'll thank all the panelists, as well as I'll thank all my moderator, organizing committee for their wonderful support, and that already I mentioned that this is a novel initiative. We will go further. Again, this improving of our fraternity. With this note, I'll thank you everyone. See you some other day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Kashita, it was a very good program. Hope you will listening to me. Is it audible to you? I don't know. Can you,
Thank you, sir.
hear me? Hello?
Hello, sir.
So can you,
He left, sir.
he left, eh?
He left.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
Thank you, sir.